movie improve because of a sequel? Arguably no. The movie is what it is. It's a finished product and can't be edited or added to. We've already saw it and we've reached our conclusion about it. However, that might be too simplistic an argument to make. We all watch a movie not just for what's in it, but also for what else we have in our heads, what types of things appeal to us, and what emotional baggage we bring along with us. Sometimes, if a sequel turns out to be an amazing experience, it can actually improve our experience of revisiting previous chapters. Your past self watching the movie for the first time, and your present self rewatching with added knowledge from the sequel are basically two different people with different insights into the story. That's the case with many of the best sequel movies. Terminator 2 Judgment Day was a far better, more engaging story than Terminator 1. This sequel became the main focus for most viewers, and the original became a sort of prequel to it, one that you can watch just to further explore the background of the world and the characters. Something very similar has happened to Avengers Age of Ultron, which will be our main focus today. So here's our list of 10 ways Avengers Infinity War has improved Avengers Age of Ultron. Number 1. Tony's Nightmare. The nightmare scenes, courtesy of Scarlet Witch, gave us a glimpse both into our heroes' greatest fears, and, we now know, an actual prophecy as to their future.
And I'm the man who killed the Avengers.
Tony's greatest fear was watching everyone die while he alone survives.
So I'm all dead, Nick. Felt it. The whole world, too. It's because of me. Wasn't ready. I didn't do all I could. I wasn't tricked. I was shown. It wasn't a nightmare. It was my legacy. The end of the path I started us on.
And Infinity War delivered it.
Watching my friends die. You'd think that'd be as bad as it gets, right? But nope. Wasn't the worst part.
The worst part
Is that you didn't.
Number 2. Thor's Nightmare. The same goes with Thor, but while his nightmare can be interpreted as referring to Ragnarok, it is better and more fully interpreted if you think about Infinity War.
We are all dead. Can you not see it? You're a destroyer, Odinson, leading us to hell. See where your power leads.
Number 3. Thor's Vision. Thor didn't just get a vision of his fears, he also had a vision of the future.
Extinction.
While Age of Ultron does nothing to pay off that vision, other than, well, vision, this is because we only get our true payoff in Infinity War with the Mind Stone being placed in the center of Thanos' gauntlet.
I've had a vision. A whirlpool that sucks in all hope of life, and at its center is that.
Number 4. Hawkeye's value. Age of Ultron gave us the deepest dive into Hawkeye thanks to us being able to visit his farm and see his family. While the first Avengers movie had most casual movie audiences, who aren't diehard comic fans, wondering who the hell is this guy, Age of Ultron is really the first time the audience fell in love with the character.
Okay, look, the city is flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
But it was his absence from Infinity War that really elevated him to a fan-favorite position. This gives so much more value to a little scene in Age of Ultron where his wife is telling him that what scares her most is that those gods really need him.
But I see those guys, those gods.
You don't think they need me?
I think they do, which is a lot scarier.
Well, I don't know for sure if he would have helped against Thanos, but we know for sure what happened without him. And now we can't wait for his return at Endgame. Number 5. Ultron's philosophy.
There were more than a dozen extinction-level events before even the dinosaurs got theirs. When the Earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
It's a beautiful line by itself, but it becomes even better after Infinity War if you think of this god as Thanos, winding up, about to throw around some Infinity Stones.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Number 6. The difference between good and evil. We've discussed this at length in our previous video, linked below in the description, so go watch it when you're done with this one. But basically, after Infinity War, Endgame can't only be about who's the one to punch Thanos in the face. It should be mainly about whether Thanos is right. Is it true that some sacrifices had to be made? Is it true that the Avengers lost because they lacked the willpower to do what was necessary like Thanos did? And you know where this is spoken out loud? That's right, Age of Ultron.
This isn't just about beating him. It's about whether he's right.
This line is first said about Ultron, but becomes the basis of why the Avengers as a whole make for good stories. Because it's not about who punches harder. Well, not just that anyway. Seriously, check out our previous video on this. Number 7. Stark's fall. Tony Stark really blew it when he created Ultron. Ultron caused many innocent deaths, and arguably that's all Tony's fault.
And then Ultron. My fault.
This is also what led to the Civil War that broke up the Avengers. Tony went from being a hero
I am Iron Man.
to someone who messed up because of his good intentions.
You think this is funny?
No. It's probably not, right?
To a sort of murderous villain in Civil War.
This isn't gonna change what happened. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Well, murderous villain is probably too harsh a statement, but he was on the path there until Captain America saved him from going down that road by preventing him from doing something he'll regret. It would be a whole story of downfall from heroism, but seeing Infinity War really paints Tony in a whole new light, because he was actually correct. The world really did need a suit of armor. And he even told us why.
That up there, that's the Endgame.
Number 8. Together. Not only did Infinity War redeem Age of Ultron Tony, it also proved Age of Ultron Captain America right, because he had the only plan that would actually work in the end.
How are you guys planning on beating that?
Together.
It would still be a risk. He acknowledges that they might lose together too.
We'll lose.
And we'll do that together too.
But that's the only real hope. Captain America doesn't want to shy away from the fight, while Stark is trying to invent ways to protect Earth without needing to do so himself.
Isn't that the mission? Isn't that the why we fight? So we can end the fight? So we get to go home?
The seed for their fallout with each other is planted here, and is arguably paid off in Civil War, but only in Infinity War do we get to see the consequences of them being apart. Everyone loses. Number 9. Banner's Prophecy. Well, this isn't a very serious one, but it is cute. Banner actually jokes about the world ending in Age of Ultron.
Oh, it's definitely the end times.
It's just a joke, but we know how the apocalypse is actually coming in just a few short years when Thanos will snap his fingers. This is even better considering that for Banner, only a few days have passed between saying this and meeting Thanos, since he has no memory of the past few years in between where he was Hulk on Sakaar.
I've been Hulk for 2 years?
Hulk, always Hulk.
And finally, number 10, the end. Age of Ultron's ending has one of the all-time best lines in the MCU.
They're doomed.
Yes.
But a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
It is such a beautiful quote on its own, but it becomes that much more powerful once you realize that we're going to have to lose some Avengers if we ever want to reverse the snap from Infinity War. It was beautiful while it lasted, even if it has to end. And that's our list. Did we ever think Age of Ultron was a bad movie? Well, no. It wasn't bad, but it did have its problems. It was a fun movie when we first saw it. It had some pacing issues, but good comedy and great action. The villain seemed lacking for some, while others loved him, and the overall feel at the time was that Marvel just produced another fun film, but ultimately, nothing more meaningful than that in the overall scheme of things. Well, this isn't the case anymore. Ever since Avengers Infinity War came out, Age of Ultron has seen a massive surge in popularity among fans. It can now be considered as a wonderful mid-piece to the overall Avengers story, with lots of open threads to be paid off in later movies. Other movies in the MCU, Thor Ragnarok, and Captain America Civil War, in particular are part of that, but no movie has added more value to Age of Ultron than Infinity War. So, if you loved Infinity War, there's no better MCU movie to rewatch than Age of Ultron to get some added story value. Was all of this planned in advance? Probably not, but it was paid off by the end. Time has been kind to it. So to answer our main question, yes, a sequel can improve on a previous movie, if and only if it bothers to pay off the threads left open in those previous chapters. Oh man, I shouldn't have said that last line. This is gonna start an argument in the comments about The Last Jedi, isn't it? Ah, damn.
You know, with the benefit of hindsight...
Thank you so much, fellow amateur superheroes, for watching the Amateur Superhero channel. We hope you liked it, so don't forget to like and share, and we love to get your thoughts in the comments. We have some more upcoming videos coming soon, so subscribe now and turn on notifications to get all of our content.